At the time of this recording, March is coming to a close, and due to the current situation of the world, we won't be experiencing much spring. While each of you are tucked away in different corners of the world under nice comfortable blankets, I would like to bring you something just as warm. Sangatsu no Lion is my favorite anime, and it holds a very special place in my heart. So this will probably be one of many Sangatsu no Lion videos on this channel. I hope you enjoy. A quick disclaimer. This video will have mild spoilers, so if you're not okay with that, then you should probably click off this video. Kiriyama Day is complicated, but that doesn't stop me from being so curious about him. In my life and in my experience with professionalism, I can say that finding what you want to do in life and succeeding in it is hard. Extremely hard. What Rei has that I don't is a sense of duty. He loves shogi. It has been around him for his entire lifetime, from growing up in his own home to his adoptive family. Rei is now a professional, and from what I have seen, he enjoys playing shogi. I envy that. The feeling of pride in your craft, I yearn for it. Knowing Rei has what I don't, I'm flushed with a sense of jealousy, but that again doesn't stop me from being so curious about him. So why is it? Why, despite knowing a kid not much older than me is more successful, do I continue to feel like I am superior? The obvious answer is that he's a fictional character, but that isn't the answer I'm looking for. Kiriyama Rei has more on his conscience. The trauma he has been through has plagued him on an emotional and physical level. See, I pity him. That's the answer. And as bad as I feel for saying that, I can't shake the feeling. Rei is a character you may or may not be able to relate to. And if you know anything about trauma, you know that getting over the past for him was like the impossible. And if it weren't for the Kawamoto family, Rei would still be locked in a shell of regret and emptiness. The Kawamoto family is almost inhuman, but inhuman in a good way. With a loss of parents, the Kawamoto family consists of only 3 sisters and a grandfather. The eldest sister, Akari, being a part-time worker for both a hostess bar and her grandfather's Japanese sweet shop, finds Rei in a drunk state one night on her way home. As if it were by common sense, Akari takes in this complete stranger to her and takes care of him, knowing nothing about him. The kindness she exhibited to a stranger was bigger and stronger than any beast that resides on this earth. Her kindness was a radiant beam of hope that takes its form in warmth. This is where the anime starts, and if not for the Kawamoto family, Rei would still spend his days cowered away in a shadow room casted over a lake reading shogi strategy novels. The envy I mentioned before begins to swell once again, as not once in my life have I experienced kindness to these extremes. Akari, Hinata, and Momo invite Rei over for dinner every so often. Reluctant to intrude on this happy family's life, Rei tries to decline every invitation, as he does not want to become a burden like he thinks he had been to others. But the sympathy given to Rei is acknowledged. It takes time, as everything does, but Rei realizes that he is feeling something unlike anything before. However, he does not yet know what it is. And after finally accepting the family's invitation, he sits at the dinner table inside of a poverty-inflicted home that is no bigger than a cheap apartment building. As he politely sits there in the household of 3 sisters he knows virtually nothing about, he is told by Akari, quote, "You don't have to eat everything. Take your time, but at least eat a little." Rei agrees and accepts the food made for him before dozing off next to a warm kotatsu under a starry spring night. Hinata, the middle sister, later brings him a blanket when the lights are out, only to find a spell of tears welling from his eyes. As the story continues, Rei is confronted by many personal issues that question his emotional grit, such as the appearance of his sister-in-law, who is described as a very vehement, angry tempest in shogi, in temperament, and in beauty. The Kawamoto family persistently blesses Rei with their tender-heartedness, as well as picking him up when he is down. And after a while, Rei finally realizes that the lingering feeling he has carried since first meeting the Kawamoto family is love. While they are not related by blood, the Kawamotos have been more of a family to Rei than he has ever had since the death of his parents. Rei acknowledges this, and makes an effort to give help to them when they need it, as a way to give thanks for all they have done for him. On the adoring night of Oban, during the traditional welcoming home of deceased loved ones, the Kawamoto's always smiling faces are described as somehow solemn. When the ceremony ends, Hinata says she wants to go to the convenience store to get a new manga, without a hint of sorrow. Rei is told to go with her, as a young girl wandering the streets is not a good idea, so he follows close behind Hinata without her knowing. While walking fast, the destination she chooses is not the convenience store, but rather a beautiful spot by the river, where the moon is accompanied by the lights of buildings, illuminating the night. Rei finds her quivering, and not so silently, crying out to the sky. Startled to have seen her crying for the first time, Rei feels a hint of remorse and relation, and so Rei reaches out to her when others wouldn't. He stands next to her, and for a seemingly endless time, as they stand next to each other, gazing up at that beautiful, beautiful July night sky, he feels a connection between them, knowing that she held in the tears up until then. As I said earlier, if not for the Kawamoto family, Rei would still be the same shell of a human he was at the beginning of the series. But the same goes the other way around. If not for Rei, the Kawamoto family would forever be pondering on the memories of their mother, causing them grief. I have always wanted to be a better person than I am now, for a long time. I have tried to be a person someone can rely on, but oftentimes that feeling fades, as there aren't many people who try to be kind. But just from the very first episode, I feel a fire light up inside of me, and I know this anime was perfect for me, and not just because I long for the ability to be kind to others just like the Kawamoto family, but many other reasons as well. Once again, at the time of this recording, March is almost over, and due to the events of the world, it wasn't experienced to its fullest. But after talking about this, I feel like March definitely came in like a lion, and hopefully very soon will come out like a lamb. Stay safe everyone, and I hope to see you in the next video. Ciao.